Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the Thailand Plus tracking app or contact tracing app. We've discussed this app, or proposed app, I should say, rather at length on this channel. Basically, it's a contact tracing app that may or may not, it remains to be seen, may or may not be required of all foreign entrants to Thailand in order to trace them for purposes of contact tracing related to COVID-19 in response to COVID-19. Now, whether or not this is ultimately going to end up being a requirement remains to be seen. My personal opinion is I think it's getting increasingly less likely it will be required as the horizon is dawning that a vaccination is going to be available. So I think the higher likelihood of mass vaccination means the resulting increased unlikelihood that they will require this contact tracing. However, that being said, all of that remains to be seen. It's kind of speculation. A good question that's come up based on one of the comments on this video, on this channel, I should say, it involves TM30 specifically, and it involves the Thailand Plus app. And folks have asked me, well, if they have a contact tracing app on everybody's phone, are they going to keep requiring TM30? For those who are unaware, TM30, it's a requirement. You have to file with Thai immigration that stipulates your address if you're on a non-immigrant visa here in Thailand. Strictly speaking, although the regs have changed a lot on this, anytime you change addresses, you also need to file a different TM30, a new TM30. So again, it's a good question. As a practical matter, a contact tracing app would kind of negate the need to even file TM30, because presumably now there's a database with the contact and the location information on all these folks that are in Thailand. I would say it's probably unlikely that Thai immigration is going to completely allow the TM30 to fall into disuse and start using the contact tracing app, because the requirement is set forth in the Act. It's actually set forth in the Immigration Act of 1979. And an analogous scenario to this is the question I often get from folks regarding what are called yellow Tebian bonds or yellow house books. And folks often think because they have a yellow Tebian bond and they're actually in the house registration system, that should negate the need for a TM30 as well. And I made a video on this topic and discussed that at length. Long story short, the act that creates the yellow Tebian bond has nothing to do with the Immigration Act, and a contact tracing app, it seems logical to presume, would not change in any way the provisions of the Immigration Act. So in my opinion, at least as of the time of this video, if a contact tracing app does in fact come online, I highly doubt it will negate the need to file TM30 in Thailand.